This is Moonshine and Music with Joe Shelton. Wait a minute, that's me. Anyway, we're going to bring you some inspiring songwriters, musicians, and maybe some side challenges and other stuff around the music industry. So stick with us right now, because the show is coming your way. Woo! Moonshine and Music starts right now. All right. Welcome to Moonshine and Music. We're here today with Steve Boller. I hope I pronounced your name right.
It's Boller, actually.
Steve Boller.
You were very close, though. I think it's totally fine.
This is like 12.
We're off to a great start. So.
12 episodes in a row where I can't pronounce anyone's name.
It's all good.
It's okay.
We didn't do any prep on that. So.
I actually, I did break the streak because I was able to pronounce Moon Men when I did when I did that band.
That's a hard one. Yeah.
Yeah, Moon Men.
Yeah.
That wasn't too challenging. But it's great to have you here.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been a long time since I've seen you.
I know.
What have you been up to? What have you been doing?
Well, been mostly kind of working on music, doing a lot of stuff just at home, kind of writing new stuff, trying out some new sounds. Recently bought a new type of electric guitar that I've been playing with, trying to learn some new stuff. Playing shows here and there, but life outside of music's been kind of crazy for me this year. So. Yeah, it's been a little bit quieter year for me musically. Yeah.
What's been going on? If you don't mind.
Oh, just
part of the show is we're trying to get to know the artists.
Yeah. So it's been just kind of a demanding year for me work-wise. Definitely been a lot more going on there than maybe in the past. We have. It sounds kind of silly to say we have two retired racing Greyhounds, our pets. One of them had kind of a health issue this year that was taking up some time and mental space of us trying to deal with that.
Greyhounds, let me explore that for a bit.
Yeah. That
seems like a tough thing to handle. I mean, I have dogs and I love them, and Greyhounds are fast and they're big.
Yeah.
And
they keep you busy, yeah.
And they can jump too, from what I understand.
Well, ours can't. Ours won't. It's pretty funny. Yeah, ours will not even get on the furniture.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so they are, Greyhounds are incredibly fast, as you know, but they are couch potatoes. So they are sprinters. They get their running in. Ours like to go on walks and stuff, but when they're not exercising, they're pretty much laying down most of the day. So that from that standpoint, they're pretty easy. But, like any dog or a person, if you have health issue, then that becomes a hard thing to do.
I understand. So, yeah, that's a challenge.
Yeah.
We've had so many different ones because my wife for a while worked with an animal rescue, so we would foster a lot of dogs. Mm-hmm. And so all sorts of different ones coming through the house.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of work.
That's a lot, though.
We haven't been doing it in the recent because we moved to a new place and we don't have room to do that anymore. But it was all of our dogs are rescues. So when one of them departs, we come across a new rescue. Yep. It becomes our new friend. And but I Greyhounds seem like a lot of. So how did you get retired ones? Was it a rescue situation? Or?
Yeah, there's a couple of different programs actually in Indianapolis that do it, and the one that we got ours through is called Prison Greyhounds, and what they do is when they're done racing, they foster them in Putnamville Correctional Facility for 6 to 8 weeks. And they pair the dogs with nonviolent offenders that are in the program, and they do some training with them, and they teach them basic commands and help them make that transition from the racing world to the world of being a pet.
Where they've been trained to do a certain thing, and now they need to be trained to be house-friendly.
Yep, because they're kind of like E.T. when you get them, because it's all like foreign. Like they've never seen a window, they've never seen stairs, they've never... they haven't been pets, so
carpeting.
Exactly, literally carpeting. Yeah. So all that, but no. So I've been writing some new stuff. It's just been kind of a year of recalibration. I think I had some pretty ambitious music projects that I did over the last few years, and I think that you can push and do that for a while, and then you kind of need to give yourself a chance to reconnect with why you're doing it and sort of refocus a little bit. That's kind of what I've been doing musically.
We'll talk a little bit about that. I know you had the album I think you've had 2 albums in the last 4 years. Is that correct?
I had one big album I did, and then I had a single that I did last year.
A single,
yeah.
Okay. So the album, when you were putting that together, what was your state of mind at that point? What was the goal and the thing that you were trying to accomplish? And
well, it was a big bucket list item for me. I'd always kind of dreamed or had that goal of doing a really high quality, professionally done album, and to really push that out there and play a lot of shows around it and really put everything I had into it. And so my mindset was wanting to do all of that. One, just because I wanted to do it and I wanted to have that, I guess you could say, achievement. It was like personal achievement that I wanted to have.
Well, it's totally an achievement.
Yeah. That was something that was really important to me. And I also just wanted to kind of test the waters a little bit and see what the response would be to it, what I could make happen with that music. And so I was very much in this mindset where, yes, it was coming from like an internal motivation and an internal desire, but I also think I was, at the time, probably too focused on what the external results would be from doing that album and expecting a certain number of streams or a certain number of fans or whatever, a response that I wanted to get. And so I think I had to kind of process a little bit. It's not that I didn't have it's not that it was a bad response, but it's not like an overnight thing where you put out a good or decent album or whatever and suddenly the world is your oyster, right? Yeah, it's a process. So I think I had to kind of come to terms with that a little bit.
Well, I think from my own personal experience also, a lot of folks have the idea, and I know I did. Hey, I'll put it out there and people start listening to it, and it totally kind of doesn't really work that way.
Right.
It's like. It doesn't matter how good it is, honestly. If it isn't, like, if people don't get their hands on it to hear it the first time, then you didn't, they might come back and listen to it more if it's good, but they won't even listen to it the first time if they don't know it exists. So you have to, spread the word, and that's hard.
And I worked really hard at that. I think that what I was running up against was the environment has changed so much away from the album format. Of putting out a full-length album and promoting that. It's really moved to this model of releasing singles and releasing a few singles a year instead of an album. I would say you see most of, even big artists, it seems like they're putting out less albums and they're putting out more singles, and then they're promoting those. They're really focusing their energy on those. And I still, at the time, really had that specific goal of wanting to do a full-length album for the creative gratification of it, and I think all musicians relate to that. Every musician wants to do that.
Well, it's nice to put out something that's on more than one, there's more hanging on it than just one story.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe it's a longer grouping of stories that you want to put together or whatever. So
Absolutely, but I think that from a music promotion standpoint, as a new artist, I think I might have been better served doing a series of singles and maybe actually doing less songs, kind of saving some ammo in the register for the next round and the next round. And I feel like I kind of burnt through a lot of my energy and resources doing it all for this big album, and maybe I could have spaced it out a little bit more.
Well, let's jump back to the start of why you do music. When did you start playing? How old were you?
I started playing guitar when I was 14 or 15 years old.
And this was, you live just east of Indianapolis?
I live in the 465 loop.
Originally.
Oh, originally, yeah. Back then, I grew up in New Palestine, Indiana, and we were, before you went live, I think before you went live, we were talking about how you live out there now. And so I grew up out in New Palestine. I was active in, theater and choir and all of that kind of stuff, and I had tried the piano when I was younger, but when I was 7 or 8 years old, and at the time I wasn't interested in the type of practicing that they wanted you to do or the type of music they wanted you to learn. But I started to get interested in the guitar. My parents encouraged me to try it out. I saw some friends of mine that played, and I thought it just seemed really cool and really fun, and I started to really get into it because I realized that with the guitar I could take songs that I enjoyed, that I was listening to at the time, and at the time I was really into Green Day, 14, 15 years old, and I could learn Green Day songs on the guitar, or I could learn songs that were popular music on the guitar, and it also became an outlet for me when I started to write, which was really, as soon as I started playing, I pretty much started writing. So it was just a way to kind of get in touch with my emotions and express those and try to connect with other people.
So you were you in bands early on, or have you always kind of worked as a solo artist and you know, got people together to help you play your music? Or
always been a solo artist. I've had different periods of time where I had a band. There was a period of time in college where I had a regular band that I'd gotten together, and it was all kind of around my music, but it was a consistent band. We were gigging a lot when I was in college for a while. And then there's been different time periods where I've had an album project or something like that, and I've gotten musicians together, definitely to record, but then also when I did Let's Begin, the band that I recorded that with, I then went on to play a few full band shows with as well. So, but yeah, it's always been kind of a solo endeavor for me, other than, you know, occasionally co-writing or getting together with other musicians.
I know that around the time that you put out the album, you had Carmichael playing with you as a backing band, and you know, we like to shout out to other people, but
yeah, Carmichael's amazing, and I'd be lucky to back for them at this point. They're killing it. But we had them. I'm trying to think if that was how it worked or not. I think I'm trying to remember what the first show was. I know I've opened for them. I think they did a show where they were an opening act for me. It's honestly kind of escaping me at the moment, but I know that we were on a couple bills together for a while, and every time I just discovered that I really loved their music.
Well, that's really cool. So, you know, when we, you know, I was trying to figure out what I was going to ask about the thing there because I lost my train of thought. When you started writing your songs and you know, you were inspired by Green Day, were you inspired by other acts and things? Because, like, you know, when I listen to the songs, I don't
There's
hear
no Green Day.
Yeah.
That went away pretty quick. I really, the artist that I loved the most in high school, and this is not going to earn me any street cred to say, but so to speak. But
street cred is overrated.
I know. I remember when I first heard at the time, and you have to. So I was in high school in kind of the early to mid 2000s, like 2003, 2004, 2005. So that was when Jack Johnson was really popular, and I remember listening to his acoustic stuff. And thinking that there was some really cool stuff, and not just like the radio singles, but like just like mid-album stuff, just the general style and vibe of the more laid-back acoustic music I kind of liked. The two artists that I think were my biggest influences, Ben Folds, for sure. I play piano as well as guitar. Guitar is just more portable and convenient, but you know, I love playing the piano. Love Ben Folds and his writing style and his energy and kind of he brings some of that punk energy to his music, and that's probably why I liked him, you know, growing up. And then also Jason Mraz. I love Jason Mraz. I love him as a vocalist. I think that he is just one of the best vocalists, male vocalists, that's been kind of on the pop scene, and I think that I latched on to him when I was in high school because he was a skinny white guy with dark hair that looked like me, and I was like, I could try to sound like him, you know. He was like became like a little bit of a role model for me for a couple of years, probably when I was 17, 18, 19 years old, because he just seemed like this, you know, everybody at that age, you latch on to people that you think you want to be like or whatever. But I also just really enjoy his music as well. So those were some of my earlier influences.
Well, that's really cool. So it's at this point in the show that we have to, I'm sorry, I'm going to apologize ahead of time.
Oh, no, you're good.
We have a trivia master on our staff, and
that must be expensive.
He is the world's greatest trivia player. He is also known as the Moonshine Guru and the Moonshine Psychic.
Well, this way.
Oh, you're going to be on that side today? All right. So this time, though, he is here, master of all trivia, Brent Lee Smith.
Thanks for having me. I apologize in advance.
So, Brent, what's your record now with this?
I don't know, a bunch to nothing.
Now, Brent, full disclosure, I recently was on a team that won trivia at Blackacre Brewery a few weeks ago. So this might be your reckoning. Although you guys wrote the questions and I haven't seen them. So
Brent hasn't seen the questions.
Well, allegedly, right?
No, he hasn't seen them.
Don't get your hopes up.
There will be no doubt as I ask the questions that he has not seen them. Okay?
All right.
All right. So, first question. How do you become a millionaire playing music?
Cotton.
Cotton? What, like the sale of cotton or?
Just cotton.
Okay, correct. What's your favorite sunset of all time?
Gene Wilder.
Correct. Who is the backup quarterback for Jacoby Brissett?
Popcorn.
Correct. We have a guy that has come on the show more than once. His last name is Ramshackle. What's his first name?
Kitty cat.
Correct. You are the champion. Brent
Wow.
Smith, trivia master.
Congratulations.
Good luck next time.
Yeah, thank you.
Steve is still confused.
Oh, I'm just
He is
kind
a-
of rolling with the punches a little bit.
He's a trivia master and stand-up comedian, Brent Lee Smith.
Wow.
He brings a lot of joy to the show.
Yeah, I can feel the joy. It's just kind of a little bit of an eat, pray, love moment for me, I think, after seeing that. Yeah.
He's very joyful. Yes. So don't feel bad.
Thanks.
Mark Proctor. Who else? Among the compromised, the whole band played trivia against Brent, and they couldn't find the stuff it takes.
Yeah. I'll have to go looking for it. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you hanging in there with our goofiness.
Oh, no, it's all good. It's funny. I didn't know what was going on.
See, he says he's just that good. No one knows what's going on with
Yeah.
him. He's like a whirlwind. All right. So, what songs are you gonna grace us with today up there on the stage?
Got two new ones that I've been working on this year, but I'm going to play. Both of them, they kind of come from the same general theme of trying, and this has been kind of my thing with my writing recently as I've been trying to peel back the layers, just trying to really come from the heart. I think I always have, but try even more so. So I've got one song called "What's in Your Heart," literally, which is about just trying to really access that and even when it's not easy, find out what's in your heart, what it is that you really want to be doing. And another song called CEO, which is about just, not wanting to run the show, not wanting to be the CEO, just wanting to kind of be in touch with yourself and not always just be running. So two songs kind of coming from a very personal place for me.
So, do you find? That leads me to questions. When when you are a solo artist, you are the CEO of your own show. Mm-hmm. Do you find like maybe you do want to like maybe be in a band or be
No, it's
is it a?
For me, I think I've always been kind of on two parallel tracks where I have a strong side of me that's, a musician, a creative, feel like a creative person. And then there's a side of me that is a business person, very much in business outside of music in my career. And at times I think I've struggled with those feeling at odds with each other. Like I can't be one if I'm the other. And it's been kind of a conflict, so to speak. And so it's been kind of an interesting process over the last year as I've learned that, we all are one person, and it's just about integrating those different sides of our personalities and kind of figuring out what's uniquely your path or your way you want to do things, and not just trying to fit into a path or expectation that other people have. So it's kind of more about that. It's not so much about not wanting to, write my own songs or do my own thing musically. It's kind of about just finding that integration between art and music and career and the things that we do to make a living, and bringing all that together.
What is your job outside of music?
So I'm in consulting, marketing, business development type stuff.
I see.
Yeah.
So those definitely cross streams and mix themselves together, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of putting your music out is marketing it. And,
Yeah. This exactly. Yeah. So and those aspects of it always came naturally to me, even when I was younger, and I had kind of a knack for like promoting my music online and stuff like that. And that side of the equation has been there for me. There's some people that are musicians where they just can't do that other stuff. They don't want to do that other stuff, even if they can. And I've always been able to kind of do both, but that has, I think, sometimes created confusion for me as far as
what you want to do on the creative side, because you're so comfortable with that.
Or like, what is my path in life, so to speak? Because it seems like it shouldn't be that I would legitimately be good at and enjoy both things. So I think that a lot of my music kind of pulls from those themes.
That's really an interesting theme. I can't wait to hear what the song's like.
Yeah, I look forward to playing them.
All right, well, let's do that, man. I'm ready for some music.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back on Moonshine and Music with Steve Boller.
There you go.
Thank you.
My name is Steve Boller. This first song is called What's in Your Heart. I've been strumming these chords for more than half my life. I'm still trying to find out just what they're all about. Can't be about money, because no matter how much you have, you never have enough. You always want too much. I've been trying to convince myself that I don't have to try. Say what's in my heart and make each day some kind of brand new start. Gotta live for something beyond the hope of security in my old age, 'cause I might not make it that far. Nobody said it would be easy. Nobody said that you're never gonna have to restart. But as long as you always get back to reaching deeper inside, then eventually you'll find out what's in your heart. Oh, what's in your heart? Hey. I've been making excuses for 2/3 of my life. The rest of the time I couldn't make them because I was asleep. We're all sleeping on something for most of us. It's the voice we bury deep inside. Yeah, we always try to hide it. Nobody said it would be easy. Nobody said that you're never gonna have to restart. But as long as you always get back to reaching deeper inside, then eventually you'll find out what's in your heart. Oh, what's in your heart? Yes. Can't always understand it, and I never get to plan it. Don't get to pick what's in my heart. No matter where this leads to, gotta trust that I can come through. I'd rather live my truth than fall apart, fall apart. Nobody said it would be easy. Yes. Nobody said it would be easy. Yes. Nobody said it would be easy. Nobody said that you're never gonna have to restart. But as long as you always get back to reaching deeper inside, then eventually you'll find out what's in your heart. What's in your heart, yes. Thank you, guys. All right, this next one's called CEO. I'm thinking it over, looking over my shoulder. Yeah, I just keep getting older, and the night's getting colder. But I can't figure out who I'm going to be, and no moment of truth is coming for me. It's taking a while, but now I'm starting to see, even though there won't be a right time. Blood and bones and brains and souls are harder to find. Yeah. I don't wanna run the show, no. Don't wanna be a CEO. I just wanna feel my heartbeat, feel my heartbeat. Oh, oh, oh. Don't wanna be always running, I end up getting left behind. I'm tired of being someone else up on the shelf. He's the thing I need to find. Whoa, whoa, oh, 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 oh. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, oh. I've been hearing these voices, questioning all my choices. Wish I could tie up my loose ends and figure out what the truth is. But I don't need to know where I'm going to be. And the moment of truth when you find out you're free. Yeah, the world opens up when you finally believe it. No, there won't be a right time. These walls I built are meant to fall when I'm ready to be free. Whoa, I don't wanna run the show, no. Don't wanna be a CEO. I just wanna feel my heartbeat, feel my heartbeat. Oh, oh, oh. Don't wanna be always running, I end up getting left behind. I'm tired of being someone else up on the shelf. He's the thing I need to find. Whoa, whoa, oh, 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 oh. Loose ends. Deep down I know what the truth is. I just need to let go and be myself again. All of this time I've been fighting, so scared of letting the light in. Well, all this time it was shining on me. There's nowhere else I'd rather be than here with you, finally free. I don't wanna run the show, no. Don't wanna be a CEO. I just wanna feel my heartbeat, feel my heartbeat. Oh, oh, oh. Don't wanna be always running, I end up getting left behind. I'm tired of being someone else up on the shelf. He's the thing I need to find. Whoa, whoa, oh, 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 oh. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, yes. Oh. Thank you.
Moonshine and Music is a presentation of Notlehs Entertainment. Copyright 2019, all rights reserved. Our producer is Joe Shelton. Our cameraman, grip, and stunt double is Brent Lee Smith. On cameras and all sorts of other stuff, Bailey Shelton. And our staff guru is Brent Schlemmer. Join us each Sunday for more episodes of Moonshine and Music.